Hello guys, welcome to NX with your new video. On this video, I'm gonna give you an update on the price of Bitcoin. So today is Tuesday, and we just had this kind of close yesterday, Monday. And as you guys can see from our last update, we said that it would be important for Bitcoin to kind of try to break this resistance. So the middle of this downward channel, this new downward channel. And as you can see, Bitcoin was able to close last week very close to this level, and is currently this new week is currently pushing above this level. So far we don't have a weekly candle close yet. Of course, it's just a new candle. Today is Tuesday, so by Sunday, Monday next week, if this candle close where it is at the moment, we could have a confirmation that it's a break of the middle of this downward channel, and breaking this and closing would give a Bitcoin more strength to actually open a new next week, pushing toward the top of this channel where we mentioned last week that would be approximately $98,000. So far, we mentioned that the bottom of this channel was actually where Bitcoin was retesting our 77,000 level. We keep mentioning this level as a very important level to hold support during 2025. So with this formation, we can see, we also mentioned that the DXY, on the other hand, is showing signs of further weakness. We have this week pushing all the way below 99. We are currently at 98, and having the DXY at such a lower level, like we mentioned, could be giving us a sign that Bitcoin could be on the verge for acceleration mode that we've been mentioning for a while, but we've been lacking confirmation or signs that this could be happening. So the only way, based on our analysis, the only way or the only sign that could the only evidence that we can have that Bitcoin is very close to enter the acceleration mode, like we mentioned with this our analysis on the DXY analysis, is when the DXY turns from silver to red on the super gap indicator. So for this to happen, we need, of course, we have to have silver, and we have to be below the 200-week moving average, which is this blue line. So you guys can see clearly that switching from green to silver and start closing weekly candles below the 200 moving average could push the DXY to become red on the super gap indicator. We have the same condition here, moving from green to silver and closing candle below the 200-week moving average. It started acceleration mode. So this wasn't the verse to happen here, but of course you guys can see that when we were below, switch from green to silver and start closing candle below these the 200-week moving average was when Bitcoin got rejected and tried to find support at the bottom of this downward channel. And we mentioned this would be the top, as there was no um, evidence that we had the market bull market top. And that's just because the super gap indicator did not enter the red phase. So for that reason, we can see that Bitcoin keep pushing, broke out of this downward channel, pushed the upside, made a new all-time high, and still we don't have any sign that the market top is in, or either if the acceleration process already started. So for that reason, we had to, Bitcoin struggle with the 110 level. It's currently forming another downward channel, and so far it looks like the DXY is breaking structure. So breaking its own market structure, meaning this was a very long, very strong support for DXY. It was around 100, of course. So every time I see the DXY below 100 is a very good time to pay attention to the price, as this could be a sign that Bitcoin is about to enter a more volatile market movement, in this case to the upside. And we can see that DXY broke the structure already and is starting closing candles below the 100. And not only that, we can see that we are far below the 200 weekly moving average. We already switched from green to silver, and these are all the conditions that we need for this silver to keep pushing down. And most likely, the longer the DXY continues to close candle below the 200-week moving average, this could lead to the super gap indicator to move from silver to red, and this is when we're gonna have the market acceleration for Bitcoin. So every market acceleration, that means I believe that breaking the top of this channel, and challenging our 110 level, and at the same time it will coincide with the middle of this upward channel, this major upward channel, which is a very important level for Bitcoin. So that means this is another confirmation. This $110,000 is a very important, is a very important level for Bitcoin to actually enter the acceleration phase, which means we're gonna leave this the second half of this upward channel, and most likely we are going to uh, pass through the second half, or went through the second half, where we're going to see much um, an increase, of considerable increase in price of Bitcoin, around between 110,000 and possibly $250,000 uh, by the end of June, I believe. If we break this channel to the upside, downward channel to the upside, I think the acceleration will be towards this number and before this time, because there's no way we can break this channel to the upside and just move slowly and find a new all-time high. This is going to give a massive move to the Bitcoin before the June 2025. DXY Bitcoin ratio, you can see for that reason I mentioned you guys that this could be a fake out. You can see the RSI is completely reversing downward again, which is really good. This is another evidence that we are very close to enter the acceleration phase. Having RSI, returning below this downward trend line would be a very bullish move, and will push the ratio to move away from the 50 weekly moving average. So there was no cross, crossing this line to the upside. This green line to the upside would be a sign that the market is going down even further. You can see that the ratio avoid this line at all cost, and this RSI will have to confirm by returning below this downward trend line, and most likely this will give the ratio the right momentum to actually come inside this downward channel. This is when the market acceleration will be at full speed and nearing the top of the bull market. Here, greed index, you can see at the moment that we are at the a neutral territory, which is ideal for Bitcoin at the moment. Although Bitcoin is trying to form structure and breaking the top of our downward channel, we can see that the market is not showing sign of excitement yet, but you can see that we built a bottom, and most likely this is a resistant level. We've been dealing with the 49 around neutral territory. Breaking this neutral territory is going to push the sentiment to be greed again, and being greed is a halfway to go to extreme sentiment, which will be fueling the market if we see Bitcoin actually breaking the top of this downward channel. So yes, guys, as you can see, the DXY is very weak at the moment. You see, it's now going below the 98 value, which is something that we don't see for a very long time. And this to me is pointing that the DXY broke structure and is likely to become red, which will mark the acceleration mode for Bitcoin. So becoming red will mark the acceleration process for Bitcoin, as you guys can see on the chart. So that's the update for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing and sharing this video with your friend and family. Thank you very much. Bye.